Together, we are sustaining and building on our support for Ukraine. Security, humanitarian, economic. Together, we're sustaining and building on pressure on the Kremlin and its enablers, including with unprecedented sanctions. Together, we're bolstering the defense of Nato itself, including by hardening our eastern flank.
Missy Ryan, Washington Post.
Just over the past 48 hours, I've had an opportunity to meet with my NATO counterparts. For the first time ever, foreign ministers from the United States Indo-Pacific allies, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, the Republic of Korea, participated as a group in a NATO ministerial. Ministers from Georgia, from Finland, from Sweden, and Ukraine also took part, as did the European Union's High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Josep Borrell. In addition, I met with my counterparts from the G7, the world's leading democratic economies. The participation of all of these allies and partners highlights the remarkably broad coalition of countries from around the world that are united in standing with Ukraine and against the Russian government's aggression. Come to a conclusion until many years after the conflict has ended, but it has. With each day, more and more credible reports of rape, killings, torture are emerging. And for every Bucha, there are many more towns Russia has occupied and more towns it is still occupying, places where we must assume Russian soldiers are committing more atrocities right now.
The timeline when you plan on doing that. Second question is, Ukraine's Foreign Minister Kuleba said today that as long as the West continues buying Russian gas or oil, it is supporting the Russian war machine. That's a direct quote.
And I can say unequivocally from my discussions with many colleagues here in recent days, colleagues from around the globe, the revulsion at what the Russian government is doing is palpable. There's a greater determination than ever to stand with Ukraine, to shore up and revitalize the international order that Moscow is trying to upend, to bring to bear even greater costs on the Russian government, to ensure that people are held accountable for their crimes.
Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov either lied to you or didn't know what he was talking about. Can you deal with him in the future? And the connected question today is...
First, as you know, and as I said, we have been individually as the United States and collectively as partners, more than 30 countries, providing to Ukraine the weapons and systems that we believe it can use most effectively and that it needs to push back against Russian aggression. And we're not going to let anything stand in the way of getting Ukrainians what they need and what we believe can be effective. So we're looking across the board right now, not only at what we've provided and continue to provide, but whether there are additional systems that would make a difference and that we could provide them. And we're doing that in close consultation with the Ukrainians as well as with allies and partners.
States committed, or will the United States commit to providing new kinds of weaponry to Ukraine within that time frame?
We've seen over many years a dependence build up in Europe on Russian gas, especially, as well as on Russian oil. And I think what I'm hearing very clearly is a commitment to end that dependence. We've seen again and again Russia use energy as a weapon, as political leverage, and of course, the proceeds that it gets from the sale of its energy is now, yes, helping to fuel its aggression against Ukraine. And my strong sense is that Europeans are very much committed, as I said, to ending that dependence. But it's also not like flipping a light switch. You have to do it methodically. You have to put in place the necessary alternatives.